You're listening to the Life in General podcast with Tom and Jaye. An hour of informative commentary on today's headlines, current events, and what's going on around the world and around the corner. And now, here are your hosts, Tom and Jaye Darden.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Life in General podcast here with Tom and Jaye, coming at you from sunny Ecuador and actually sunny Tennessee. We just had daylight savings time out here. Now,
stop it.
Father and I are on the same time zones there, and makes things a little bit easier. Yay, sunlight! Yay, serotonin and vitamin D and all that shit. We're going to start this episode off the same way we do every time, and ask the man of the hour how he is down there, about as close to the sun as one could possibly be, and see what's happening. So, hey, Dad, how are you?
I'm doing good. We're mudded in. You've heard of snowed in. Well, we're mudded in because this is the rainy season.
So it's not mud in apostrophe. It's mudded in.
Mudded. Maybe it's ed mudded in, where you can't get out, especially on the scooter. Now the guys with the dirt bikes, they're having a blast.
Oh, I have no doubt.
And the people with the big pickup trucks and stuff, they're slinging mud and all kind of stuff. But
there you go,
little guys on an electric scooter. I'm not chancing how deep that water is. So. We stay off. But the thing about it is, living here, you're so close to the sun. Like if the sun comes out tomorrow, it just goes, and everything just dries up and gets hard. But it's all where people have driven through it. It's got a bunch of ridges and stuff, so it just makes the road that much worse. But it's mudded in for another. Oh man, I guess it's 30 days. And April is supposed to be. April is March and April are the rainy months or something, but it was monsoon last night for 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, and then stopped and started back up an hour later and went for another 4 or 5 hours. So yeah.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
But all good. No, it's all good.
If that's all you got to do is, oh man, that day I can't ride around on my scooter in paradise. Well, shucks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it sucks to be me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's most certainly it. Comment down below, our Ecuadorian amigos down there. What's it like for you when it gets mudded? Because of course there's not going to be a lick of snow down there unless you head up to Quito or something like that up in the mountains. But kind of wild there.
If you live on a dirt road, it's going to be ugly. That's for sure. Because Bob lives on a dirt road, and so his gets really nasty too. So yeah, well, pretty crazy.
That'll teach you. Or you'll learn to live with it and get over it. So
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Most certainly. So we're just going to kick it right off here. You had something where you wanted to talk, speaking about driving around, where you said Cruz, I'm assuming you mean the illustrious Ted Cruz.
Correct.
Was driving around, I'm assuming you also mean Washington, D.C., in a big truck. WTF, mate? So why don't you give us a breakdown on that and kind of let us know what was happening, and we can decide for ourselves whether or not we share the same sentiment.
Well, it's all lip service. Ted Cruz, the People's Convoy, which that's what they want to do. That's fine. All they got to do is stop the trucks. Yeah. Now, right now, there's the news out on the news feed is where they're going to stop. Everybody's supposed to stop driving and paralyze America from the 1st to the 8th of April. It'll never happen. I'm telling you, it'll never happen because they're just not going to stop. But Ted Cruz jumps up in the cab of a cab over, which is the old timey, old timey flat nose trucks, and he's waving. It's a photo op.
Of course it is.
You're riding around 395, which is the bypass around D.C., in a big truck, waving at everybody. It's all lip service. You're not doing anything. Why you waste your time doing that? Why does the truck driver? Why do the trucks? What are they getting out of this? What are they doing it for? And what's going to be the result?
Ted Cruz is getting more votes and voter support because remember, when you're a politician, the only thing that matters is getting voted in again. We've discussed this until we've been
and
literally
sometimes I
blue
forget.
In the face. And
sometimes I forget.
It was something very much where it doesn't matter in the slightest what happens to the people. It only matters if they can continue to remain in power, because that's what being a politician is now, right? It is having a certain amount of power that is not easily disseminated. And even though the people might have the power to get them out via primary or whatever, it's very difficult to do. And so they have to continually keep up appearances. And as long as you don't ruffle either the wrong person's feathers or potentially don't do something that is completely asinine, like Mr. Tubin, who was caught, pleasing himself while on a video call because he thought the camera was off. It was one of those sorts of things. But hey, he's back. He's back doing almost exactly what he was doing beforehand. So,
wow,
you can. I'll put this indelicately. Please excuse me. You can rub one out live on air or on a meeting, and if you're high up enough or have enough power, it doesn't matter in the slightest. So
maybe he's going to make a run for president in 2024. I don't know. Maybe he's lining himself up for that and trying to get his face out there as much as he can.
You know about Cruz?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he'll get reelected in November. Hopefully. I'm not mad at him. I'm just saying, what does it get you? I mean, what is if I was a truck driver, I'd go, well, what is this getting us? We're burning $6 a gallon diesel fuel.
Yeah.
Riding around Washington, D.C. And for what? It doesn't matter. They don't care. They don't give a damn, a tinker's damn about where you go and what you do unless you stop. Stop driving. Everyone stop nationwide for just a little while, and then you're going to get somebody's attention.
Well, okay. So what's going to happen there, or what could potentially happen, is they say, well, the truck driver stopped. Okay, well, then that means we're just going to have to go on the rail more, right? Like, they're going to try and make I don't want to say like the others or the class or the group of protesters or group of this or whatever just become obsolete, and then say, oh, what's going to happen? Like, I've heard so much about this, and we'll segue a little bit later into the next topic, which we'll talk about oil. Something that I've heard recently, and I haven't been keeping up too much with the news, but I've seen bits and pieces of just random stuff. And something that I'm seeing here is saying, okay, now, because remember, this is not the first time we've seen $4 a gallon of gas, $5 a gallon of gas. Because remember, back in around old George W., something very similar. So this isn't our first rodeo. People have the minds longer of a memory than a goldfish, which most days they don't, but it's all good. This isn't your first rodeo, and this was back when y'all probably weren't making as much money, right? So, anywho, this is not the first time we've seen this, but what I've seen or heard slightly from that is it's going to lead into a Green New Deal situation where they're going to say, well, here's this electric car right here. You don't have to go to the pumps for the electric car, but a lot of these new electric cars, okay, and a lot of these just newer cars in general, it's going to be very much like the scenario where people get rid of cable, okay, and they're like, oh, I'm going to stop paying for cable. It's $300 a month or $150, $200 a month, whatever. Then they pay for Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Paramount, Discovery Plus, and then 10 more services, and you're back up to paying almost more than what you were paying when you were paying for cable. Now, granted, you can share that, and that's fine, but they're still going to nickel and dime you. So these cars, they are trying to put into legislation or put into the works where, oh, you like remote start? We're going to charge you a monthly fee for remote start. And we can turn that shit off the second we need to because the cars are so smart nowadays and so technologically advanced. Right. You like remote start? Oh, you like this heat or heated seats or whatever, or you like GPS, which already may have been a bi-month thing, but it's something where they're getting us way too used to the nickel and dime aspect of things. And so with electric cars, hey, look, you're paying $8 for gas. Well, I'm going to go buy a damn Tesla. It might be $80,000, but I'll never have to go to a gas station ever again. Just literally ever, right? And so
but then they'll turn off your electricity then.
Right. But
so they got control.
Exactly. And that, it seems like what is what they're doing. And so bringing this point back around, they're trying to make a scenario that forces people into I don't want to say a less advantageous position, but it seems that way when it comes to everyone stop driving for a week. Okay, well, what's that going to do? Well, as we've seen in the past few years, you had a pandemic speed up the process of actually getting a lot of people to work from home by decades, right? So now we're looking for the next thing that pushes things forward, such as self-driving cars. What about self-driving trucks? Because you know what'll happen then? We can just say, you want to stop driving, human truck person? Okay, cool. Go sit over here, please. And then let the maximum overdrive trucks drive around. And then they're going to go 24/7, 365, man. And it's going to be something where they're going to say, was it really worth stopping? Because you might never start again.
It was. Have you found in the chain supply crisis that not getting imports from Russia has made a difference in the backup of the chain supply?
The supply chain, no.
No. Hadn't made a difference?
No.
Okay. That's another lie that they're telling you. But speaking of gas, did you get that picture I sent you of the
Ecuadorian, the Listo?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I'll try to cut that in here in post. But yeah,
if you look at the bottom of that picture, there's a Shell emblem, and Shell, it's just they're all bullshit. They can sell it for whatever they want to, because down here, the number one export in Ecuador is oil and petroleum.
Yeah.
Crude oil and petroleum. The unleaded down here is $2.55 a liter.
Lucky y'all.
Yeah. And diesel.
Oh, well, hold up. No. Wait a minute. Not lucky y'all, because a liter is less than a gallon, so I don't know about that.
Well, not much. Or maybe it's more than a gallon. Are you sure?
It is. Okay.
Or maybe it's a gallon. I don't know. I thought they did liters down here.
I thought they did liters and kilometers.
Diesel is $1.90. Whatever. I don't care if they sell it in a coffee cup. It's $1.90.
But the point is,
and they're looking at $5 or $6 up there, $5 or $6 a gallon up there, and it's $1.90 a gallon down here. I mean, and Shell is providing it. And I went by a place the other day that was a Exxon Mobil. Well, the president down here locked in the $2.55 a gallon unleaded regular gas because they kept jacking it up. It's been raised 90 cents a gallon since we moved down here, and we hadn't been here a year yet.
You need to figure out whether or not that is a gallon or a liter, because a liter is 3.78 liters to a U.S. liquid gallon. So,
well, whatever the sign says, I don't look at it because I don't have anything gas, so I don't worry about it. I just know that
so leading back to my point of, if they make gas too much, you don't have to worry about it. So we'll go to electric stuff and then be controlled by the electricity thing. So
that's right. That's exactly right. But I think that they blame it. They're blaming it on everybody else, but they won't crank up. Montana and the Dakotas and Alaska and Texas, they won't crank back up the wells to pump this. We could get out of this. We were energy independent before Slow Joe took over. We were. And gas, people have put the signs out there, $2 a gallon or $2.50 a gallon.
Yeah, it doesn't say
before Joe took over
if it's gallons or liters on your photo there, sadly. So
okay, well, I think it's gallons.
Well,
so. Anyway,
very fair. But one thing I did see about that, because I did look up, the what the hell is that thing called? The pipeline, the Keystone Pipeline, right?
Right.
I did look that up, and I was reading on there. Of course, take this with a grain of salt, people, our lovely viewers. We love you very much. Like, comment, subscribe down below.
That's right. Smash the like button.
Smash. Ding, 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 ding. Smash. Yep. Yeah. That's it. I I saw when I was doing some research on that, because we have discussed the pipeline several times, right? And it was something where a majority of that oil and whatnot would go out of the country. Like, it would be actually for other people. And then you had then the argument saying, okay, well, if it's cheaper going out because more's out in the world, it would have a net effect, right, of making it cheaper here. Because if it's cheaper out there, there's more just literally everywhere, so it possibly would drive costs down. But much to your point, I think you're correct, and we talked about this a little bit before, which is, I mean, corporations are kind of the negative stigma here, right? Because they're going to decide what the costs are going to be for things.
Right.
And understand this. I get that a business is literally in the business, LOL, of making money. Its point is to generate funds. I am very much well aware of that. However, we have very much gone away from let's be less greedy, like give versus greed, right? An example here is insulin. I saw this yesterday or the day before on some social media site, Reddit or Imgur or whatever, where it was nothing but a miracle that insulin was found and used. I believe the first instance of it was in like a children's hospital. And, you had these kids waking up because, people were dying from diabetic comas and shock and all that shit. And it was something where, we've turned something that is literally life-saving. I mean, you have a type 1 diabetic and they're just screwed, man. Like, with type 2, there have been certain things that have seen or shown where you can kind of outdo it, right? You can live a certain way, eat a certain way, and beat it, right? But you're going to be like the bionic man or woman, or the bionic they. It's 2022. You can't assume anybody's gender, and it's something where that stuff back in the day was done to better the lives of everyone. Now it's literally how much blood can we squeeze from the proverbial stone? How much control can we keep over folks? Because right now, I don't know whether or not like there's an instance of, hey, or there are many instances of, hey, you can just go and kind of live and not have to work every day of your life and not have to, or I say every day, I mean 40 hours or whatever. Where right now, kind of the thing is you just get up and go to work. And but some people shouldn't work and some people just don't want to work. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing,
Right.
But it's something where, or at least it should not control your life. And right now, people are wondering, where their next meal is going to come from and wondering where, hopefully my car doesn't break down, or hopefully I don't have a random doctor's bill, because they'd be screwed. Like, it's just ridiculous and whatnot. But sorry, getting on the proverbial soapbox there, but yeah, craziness. Well, is what that is.
I think you're probably right. I wanted to, speaking of control, I wanted to talk about gaslighting. And I don't know if you've ever looked into it.
Oh, yeah.
But this is just a nice way of saying bullshit.
Okay.
It's a politically correct way of saying BS. Gaslighting is a tactic in which a person or entity, in order to gain more power, makes a victim question their reality. It works much better than you may think. Anyone is susceptible to gaslighting, and it is a common technique of abusers, dictators, narcissists, and cult leaders. It is done slowly, so the victim doesn't realize how much they've been brainwashed. Okay? I've got 11 signs that you know that you were being gaslighted. People who gaslight typically use the following techniques. Number one is they tell blatant lies. Hello, we're there now. Okay. Number two, they deny they ever said something, even though you have proof. They said it. Number 3 is they use what is near and dear to you as ammunition.
Right.
Okay, which is probably the children. Number 4 is they wear you down over time. Okay, they're just a little bit and a little bit and it's been 2 years on this COVID stuff. And not to get off track, but it's funny. I read a news feed today where they're not requiring masks in Middle Tennessee anymore, where you live.
Right.
And American, Delta, and United are supposed to take off the mandate on the 18th of April.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah. Airlines, which is great. Which is great because I'm flying on the 19th of
there you
April.
go.
So we'll just see how that works.
Timing is everything there.
Yeah. Number 5 is their actions do not match their words. That's today, 100%.
Sure.
They throw in positive reinforcement to confuse you. Okay. Number 7, they know confusion weakens people. And right now, most people don't know whether to wave or salute. They project.
Hold up. The list here says people who gaslight typically use the following techniques. How is they know confusion weakens people? That they're not utilizing anything there.
With the lies they're telling. They're confusing you with all the lies and stuff. Look, I'm just reading the stuff down here that they gave me on the list. Okay,
I've
only got 3 more, so let me just say them and you can talk about them.
I was going to say, well, I had to say that because if not, I would be confused, much like our audience is right now, I'm sure. And are you gaslighting me out there?
Yeah. I'm confusing you, and it weakens you because it puts you in a weaker spot.
That's it.
I don't know. Number 8 says they project. Okay. That's all it says. Number 9, they try to align people against you. That's today. Very divisive. Mm-hmm. Where they've. Number 10 is they tell you or others that you're crazy. And then number 11 is they tell you everyone else is a liar.
Right.
Okay. I mean, that is right down today's society, fake news, the media, and all the other bullshit that they're feeding us, man.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah. And people don't, they're confused. They've divided everybody against each other, you know? I mean, golly, man, it's happening to everybody. It's happening to everybody, and pretty soon you're going to be in every man for himself kind of thing, you know?
Pretty soon, I'm pretty sure it's already like that.
Well, yeah, it is in the truck driving industry for sure.
Oh,
it's every man for himself.
Yeah.
Golly, man.
I would say in several
pretty ridiculous.
In several outlets there or several groups. I mean, the only thing that's keeping them essentially a group are certain liked qualities, which, of course, I mean, that's kind of what a group is, right? But it's something that I had an experience recently where will counter the it's every person for himself, because it takes a tribe of people to make a person successful, I think. And and in recent, the recent week or so, that I've gone through some things and whatnot, and yeah, I mean, people were there and they were amazing, and so it's a scenario where, like, even people from work, I mean, were just fantastic, dear friends, people coming out, and being supportive. It was absolutely awesome. So, I think that there are definitely things that we may see in the world that it's like, it can't be every man for himself every now and then, or every person for themselves. But when the going gets tough, you're going to figure out who the real people are. Right now, in the corporate world, it's a little bit different, but it's kind of difficult to speak on that, just because, I mean, people from my work were surrounding me and whatnot, and it was great. So, but when it comes to the world at large and the corporate space, it can be a little dicey, for sure, when it comes to I mean, just like we said, or like the mouse in my pocket and I, they control a lot of the way that we function. So, and it's always about doing more with less and maximizing profits. And sometimes that just means that certain people aren't, or certain groups just are kind of left by the wayside. And it happens. Like, I understand, but it's kind of like get in line and spin the proverbial wheel that you can in your little hamster wheel, or you got to break out. So, but I don't know, gaslighting people is kind of interesting. The movie.
Well, it's what's happening. It's what's happening to America right now, because most people are telling a lie. You can't get anybody hardly to tell you the truth anymore, man. And it really sucks. It really does. Because when you ask somebody about something, I don't know why they just won't be upfront about it. I mean, golly, it's pretty sad.
Well, I was going to say, we've talked about that as well at some length of why don't people want the truth,
Right.
Because, oftentimes people just don't want the truth because they're too afraid to see it, because it might give them information that they don't want to have in their lives. Like, sometimes the truth definitely can hurt. And even if you are very, very tactful, it is what it is, man. Like, some people don't want the curtain or the veil removed.
This is where you need to cut in Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But yeah, so gaslighting, it is something where, I've heard the term more and more, right? And it's that can
because they can't say bullshit. You're bullshitting.
Oh,
they could say gaslighting instead of bullshit. It's the same thing.
That's fair. However,
close.
I would say that I've seen gaslighting before, that term, and people throwing it around and whatnot. But I think I'm seeing it like just less and less, because people at this point in time, they're like, neither side is like bringing it up from what I've seen. It's just more, hey, I won't say I'm doing this to you, and then you won't say that, you're doing, like, I won't say you're doing this to me, and vice versa. And so, because you got to remember, they don't want people educated. And by that, I mean literally everybody, right? If they keep you dumb enough, but keep you passionate enough, they can do literally whatever they want. And they got you by the short ones. And it's crazy, man. Like,
they got them right now with the gasoline prices. I mean, it's just, and then I don't get it.
Sure.
When people know it's there, when they know the fuel is there and they won't pump it, and then they go, well, there's 900,000 permits that they just won't apply for. It takes a year to push one of them permits through with all the regulations in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
To get back drilling again, and it's like, really, guys?
I don't know. Like, well, let's not miss the forest because of the trees, or whatever the hell that saying is, because it's not necessarily they're not going to pump anything else or open up more reserves or whatever. At this point,
they're going to have to. Well, they're going to have to.
At this point in time, the corporations are just setting the prices, man. Like, it doesn't matter how much a friggin' barrel of oil cost. It's something where somebody else is setting the price. And they're setting it based on, statistically, how much you're willing to pay. But
don't lie about it and say Putin's setting the price. That's what they're doing, is they're getting in on the TV and going, well, it's all because of Russia and it's all because of Putin that the gas prices are high.
Right.
Bullshit. No, it's not.
I'm saying that what you're saying is accurate, not that I believe that is what is correct.
Don't you raise your voice at me.
You're flirting with disaster, buddy, Ro. Like, you're getting real heated about things, and it's
let me get some water and put this fire out.
Yeah, geez, man. Like, I'm agreeing with you that that's what they're saying, and I do not believe it is necessarily accurate, right? Because literally what I just said was the corporations are setting the price, and you're saying don't lie. 100%. That's what should be happening. Is they should not be saying, hey, it's like, don't point people, like, don't not shed a light on what's really going on, or don't deflect, because like, I get it, because every corporation has an image, and then every business wants to stay in business. They want to maximize profits. They want to do this. Well, I mean, can you imagine if collectively, like as a whole, at least the U.S., because I mean, the world can essentially do this, but just speaking on this country here, or Ecuador possibly, where they just stop buying stuff for a couple days. Like, okay.
Right.
Or just as you said, hey, the truck drivers just stop, right? Like, just take a break for, 3 or 4 or 5 days or whatever. Just stop buying stuff. They're going to figure out very much what prices can be set, because they're setting them right now based on the participation of people actually purchasing things. Because, like, let's say corporations didn't just have infinite money right now, and then they couldn't buy a house that was normally $500,000 for $750,000 or $1 million, and just say, I don't care, because we're going to be able to make that money decades down the road, because it's going to become a house that we just rent. Like, we're never going to sell it again, and all that. So it's all based on what we're willing to spend, and it's something that they made us reliant.
Well, they waited till everybody was locked down for so long that everybody's head's about to explode to get out of their house and get out into public. And then they jacked the price of gas up when everybody's starting to hit the streets. Because in spring break going on this week, I know you don't have. Well, let me educate you. Spring break's going on in your county, in Sumner County, this week from school. Yeah, so you'll see the highway probably more packed, but then again, you might not, because of the fuel prices. That's what's so crazy about it is, we're going to let you out of school and we want you to travel. We want you to, and the mask mandate's going away, and you can get out of your house and you can take the kids, and little Johnny will be out of school, but you're going to pay $5 a gallon for gas. What? Yeah.
Well, and
they've got it figured out.
It's going to come down to also, okay, we've given you this opportunity. Are you going to squander it because gas is high? No. People are going to take their kids. They're going to go do their thing, because just like you said, we've been kept indoors for years now, and people are going to get out and they're antsy and they're fired up, and it's crazy.
Yes.
So
yes, they are.
But hey,
speaking of Russia, I'm sick of hearing about Ukraine.
Why is that?
Really? Shut up about Ukraine and let it play out. We don't need to be involved. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We don't have a dog in that fight. We don't. It doesn't have anything to do with us other than the millions of dollars they gave Joe and Hunter. That's all. That's the only connection that we have, the United States has, is the corruptness that went on when he was vice president.
I thought it was something about Trump paying Ukraine for dirt on old Biden there.
No, I haven't heard that. But let it play out. But I tell you who you better watch. You better watch China, because we've done the 100-year marathon, and we're 35 years into it. 65 years into it. Got 35 years to go before they become a world superpower. And they're eyeballing Taiwan because they know that the administration is weak, and they know that the administration is not going to do shit. So you watch and see if that's not the next global encounter that goes on.
It might be, but
this deal with Ukraine, man. You forget about the border being open and all the illegals coming across it. Forget about inflation. Forget about the supply chain crisis. You forget about gas at $5 a gallon. They're using Ukraine as a distraction, and the media keeps stirring it up and stirring it up. Let it go, man. Fix the things here. Instead of sending them $13 billion, fix what's going on here. You've got all this stuff going on here, and you're going to send them billions of dollars? And you can't, we don't have any borders. I mean, I don't get it. And people, it's all lip service from the politicians and from the administration and stuff. They can't even tell the same lie.
I would say that, like we've discussed before, it's not about fixing things. It's about staying in power and getting as much money as humanly possible.
Okay.
Because
then you need to run for office then.
No, because homeboy is going to get right into that trap instantly and be like, "Oh, yep, nope, shouldn't have done this," and it would not turn out super well. But yeah, like that's kind of the point, right? Is if they can send $13 billion elsewhere and sensationalize things or keep people hooping and hollering at that, they don't have to spend the $1 trillion here on anything that would be helpful. Right?
Oh, did you see where they met in the middle of the night, like 2:00 in the morning, to try to shove through the infrastructure bill?
I didn't see where like at the timing of it, but I did see something about a vote that happened at like something strange was about it. But
it was like a 2,400-page bill, and they gave them like an hour to read through it.
Right.
And then they wanted them to vote on it at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and push it through without anybody. Oh, what kind of bullshit is that, man?
That's really politics. That's what politics is.
In the middle of the night?
Yeah,
in the middle of the night, you're going to run a bill through for $1.5 trillion for infrastructure and I didn't get anything for my state, so I'm not going to vote for it because you didn't give me what I wanted. And Nancy didn't get what she wanted, and somebody else didn't get what they wanted when they started trying to trim the fat out of this bill. And oh man.
Oh yeah. Because
out of control, man.
It's not about helping. It's just about power. So
yeah.
Because I mean, you would think like back in the day, and seeing the validity change, or actually, I guess you might see maybe less validity, but it's something where not validity. My apologies, volatility. You would see more or less where you. At this point in time, it wouldn't legitimately just be 50-50 or 50-49 and 1% or whatever. Like, it wouldn't be like that. It would be, oh, okay, so you might have like 75% of votes in terms of Democrats, Republicans, whatever, because, it wasn't just about the dog and pony show. It was saying, hey, like, I'm Republican or I'm Democrat or whatever. It's just something that, I mean, we can talk about it until we're blue in the face, but it ain't going to change.
You're right. Oh, you're right.
So
you're right. It's sad. Vote them out. November the 8th on Tuesday, vote them out.
Right.
All of them. Change them all.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it every week.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm going to say it every week. I'm going to say it every week till November.
Hey, keep it
coming, man. It's got to stay fresh in front of you. It's got to stay fresh right in front of you. It's got to come to your kitchen table, man. Vote them out. Yep. Take off work, early vote, late vote, by mail, however the hell you can do it. Get them out. Get them out and start all over again, man. Because it's terrible right now.
I was gonna say we got to do something.
And hopefully Trump won't run again in 2024. Yeah, I said it. I said it out loud too.
Well, it's interesting to me. There are definitely some people who were all about it, this past election, and then after, let's say, a year and a half or some time after that, they're like, no, I'm good. We need somebody else who's a little more, not Joe, but not the complete opposite in the other direction. So
Joe don't know whether to wave or salute right now, man.
There are certain days I don't know whether to wave or salute, but now
but he's got puppets pulling his string, man. Hey, did you see where Obama got COVID?
No.
Yeah, he's been diagnosed with COVID. I think that's funny as hell. Maybe he's got Obamacare.
That makes me sad, but all right.
Okay.
So, I mean, let's not wish ill upon people or chuckle at their
the Life in General podcast.
The Life in General podcast is in no way condone
wishing ill feelings on.
Yeah, wishing ill will towards people. But that's
COVID's over with. I don't know why they're telling that lie. It's over with, man. Maybe he's got the flu or something.
Well, I mean,
maybe he's got the flu or something. But that's all over with, man. The Omicron, the Delta, the Omega, the Chi, the sorority, the fraternity, all that's all over with, man. It's all over with. It was all gaslighting anyway, and everybody fell for it. How about that Jesse guy that duped the nation?
Jesse Smollett?
Yes.
I don't think he duped very many people, because understand this. Remember, what some news outlets say is not what the nation necessarily believes. You got to give it 72 hours. 72 hours to play out. No. I remember, and of course, I'm referencing Dave Chappelle again. Because he had a bit about that, right? Where Juicy Smollett, he said, this is Dave Chappelle. He's like, yeah, the black community wasn't going to come out and say anything, but they didn't, like, that was the point. Was it like, yeah, they knew that person was lying, but they aren't going to come out and say anything about it because they're not going to forfeit the solidarity there. But it was like, nah, dude, this doesn't make any fucking sense. So I forgot what special that's from where he says that, but
it's the same. It's the same with the NASCAR guy that said he had the noose in his garage, and it was the handle they pulled the door down with. That's stupid shit that these people are doing, and people are falling for it. They're falling for it, hook, line, and sinker, man.
Well, I would say just the national news or whatever you want to call. Everything's been sensationalized. Just
fake news. It's all bullshit. Fake news, gaslighting. I'll stop saying the BS and say gaslighting.
I mean, I guess
to be politically correct.
I understood that gaslighting essentially, it does have a lot to do with what you said, but there's a very niche thing about it where, from my understanding, it's coming up with the problem. Right, someone says there's a problem, and then you come back on them and say, "No, that was never a problem."
Right, right.
So that's more in line with like my direct interpretation of like, oh, that's being gaslighted. So
showing my Pepsi insignia as a sponsor of my soccer shirt here.
I was going to say the Life in General podcast is not sponsored by Pepsi, but if you want to, if you want to be,
Mountain Dew. I found Mountain Dew the other day.
I was going to say,
they said, "Do you want two of them?" And I said, "No, that's okay." But they're $1.69 a can down here if you can find them, which is that's healthy for down here because everything else is 50 cents. And it's like. Maybe I can get two of them and drink them real fast or something.
Well, they got up here, the little 20-ounce bottles of whatever soda you may be inquiring about or be hankering is like $2.30 a bottle now, which is...
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
They're ridiculous now.
Do you remember when it was 2 for $3?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
or 2 for $3.33 or something like that?
Right. So, It was, It was kind of silly, but it is what it is. Like I saw that if you're at the store. Here they went up $2 a 6-pack. Now I don't buy it, but they went up $2 a 6-pack on Michelob Ultra down here, and now it's $13.99 a 6-pack, and it was $11.99 the other day when I was in the store, and they went up to $13.99, and I thought, man, they must have a problem getting it or something. Could be. Well, or they understand you will just pay more.
I won't because I'm not drinking it, but I drink
that's fair.
I drink the local rubbish here, which is okay with me.
I mean, if you're talking about club, it's pretty good.
I drank the 22-ounce bottle for $2.
Nothing wrong with that. That's it, right? Well, especially with the cats who will like turn in the bottles again,
Yes. Yep. I don't get the 22-ounce bottles here for the house because I don't have a refrigerator big enough to put them in.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Well, if I had a refrigerator big enough to put them in, surely I'd buy them by the case, because it's like you get 12 22-ounce bottles for like $15. Yeah. And that's that's a lot of beer, bro.
Just start floating around, like I'm floating in a vat of beer.
That's it. That's exactly right.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I buy it by the 12-ounce bottle and buy a case of them at the time from the commissary. So,
well, the commissary.
Yeah. Yep, and they're still checking. They're still checking your vaccine card, and they're still wanding you as of yesterday at the commissary before you go in.
That's peculiar that the wand and the vaccine thing came about at a similar time.
Yes.
So
I watched him go through a guy's backpack yesterday. They make him pull his backpack off, and made him open it up and let him look in it and stuff like that. The wand didn't go off because I was standing behind the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I got shorts, a t-shirt, and tennis shoes on, or Crocs. The other day I went totally Melvin Milquetoast and wore socks and Crocs.
Hey, some people want to be comfortable, and luckily, you can do whatever the hell you want. So
I know, right? It's just Let me tell you the friendly middle finger, as they do.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. Double barrels there.
Yeah,
indeed. So,
but it was family friendly. So,
yeah, family friendly. Yeah, that's it.
Let's hope it doesn't go off.
yeah, for sure. That's that is pretty wild. But yeah, so it's kind of been a crazy time in mine and several people around me's existence. Kind of seeing what's going to play out and what's going down here. But yeah, back at it, doing it to it. And then work is being kind of crazy. We got some two kind of big clients. Everyone be careful out there with your cybersecurity, because that'll get you.
They're coming for you.
Well, I mean, everybody is coming for everybody. It's nuts. And it can hit a person, it can hit a corporation, it can hit anything. And I think that's what they were talking about with Russia a little bit, was they weren't going to, if they were going to attack America, it would be with a cyber threat. It would not be with tanks and bombs and all that. Because
didn't they do that once before with the on the East Coast with the Colonial Pipeline or something? Didn't they come in there and shut that down for a day or something, just so they show they could?
They very well may have. I mean, they may have, but it's interesting how many cataclysmic events we're just so very close to all the time. Right. What is it, Yellowstone or Yosemite? If one of those two things went off, half the population of the U.S. would just die almost instantly, because it would black out. All the ash and all that would come about. Or if you had the right kind of solar flare, it's going to fry every single electronic that we have. I mean, it's just there are just so many things that at this point in time, it's all right, what's the next thing? There was something I might have mentioned this last time, but just millennials and people who are roughly my age and whatnot coming into this world. Okay, you got the internet, you got this, and they wanted to just live through a time when it wasn't a global event. But like we've talked about before, everyone's just so connected, and the world has definitely shrank to a degree that's gone. Unless you just unplug from everything and just drive out in the desert somewhere, you're going to be plugged in all the time. You're going to be almost like matrix levels of being plugged in. So
yeah, and that'd be okay. It'd be okay to live out in the woods somewhere. That'd be okay.
Maybe. Yeah. The big thing to me would be boredom, right? Because that's one of the humans' kind of biggest things is boredom, right? I mean, that's what has caused several innovations or several breakthroughs, is people just couldn't sit still, couldn't stop, and we got to keep going. We got to push forward and got to go further. So
I get that conversation regularly about finding something to do.
I have no doubt in my mind. That's why I got to keep you occupied at least 3 hours of your 168 in a week.
Right.
So
that's right.
That's it.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Because I need to find a hobby or something to do, because you can't hunt because you don't have any guns. You could fish, but then you'd be on a boat fishing, or you could go out. I guess you could go out like you did in the ocean and just throw your line out and hope for the best, or you could and then you get skin cancer from being 3 inches from the sun and you're out in the ocean and stuff. So
that's a possibility. I would say cover up for sure.
Yeah,
if you're going to do that.
So, so Bob Tatuli's son's rolling in tonight.
Hey, there you go.
New Jersey. That'll be an interesting visit, because
shout out.
Bob's been down here for 8 years now, going on 9. And I don't know that John's ever been down here or not. He might have. I don't know. But yeah, he's all excited to see him. So that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
Anytime you get, very important.
Yep.
Especially making that trip.
And my wife is out of town for 12 days. She's up there in the States with y'all. And it was funny because when she left here, it was 80 degrees and she was in shorts and flip-flops and t-shirt. And she got up there and there was snow.
Oh yeah. It was ridiculous.
She said it was 65 one day, and by 8 o'clock that night, it was below 30. Right. And I was like, it sucks to be you at this point in time. But, that ran my D&D game aground when everybody, like at 10:30 that evening, snow just started to come, and it was like, bam, let's go. And I had like 6 guys at the house, and they were like, and peace, gotta go. Gotta go. Yeah, you know how traveling in Tennessee is when you mention the S word.
Oh, it was silliness. But now it was actually coming down when everybody was going. Of course, it lasted maybe 2-3 hours, and then it stopped, and then you had a day of, there's snow. So.
And then the next day it's 60 degrees again.
I think got up to 50. So just kind of different.
Close enough. Yeah.
Well, what was interesting to me, you still had snow on the ground for a couple days afterwards, even though it did get up to 50 because it snowed so heavily in some places. It just stuck. Like it was a decent powdering. So, but yeah. To own a car wash at that time. Oh man, it's that
lined up.
That would be crazy, especially and just like we talked about nickel and diming and stuff, they have like at the Mr. Washes, they have just monthly subscriptions. Wash your cars many times you want to. Yeah, wash your cars many times you want to. Come on in. It'll be $30 a month or whatever the hell it is. So.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah. Everything now, if it's anything, has a subscription. I mean, even the shampoo that I buy from Pros, shout out to Pros, they have a like Amazon Pros, everything. They're like, would you like to save 15% on your purchase by purchasing it 90 more times over the next existence you have? And I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm good, thank you. But yeah, everything has like a subscription thing now, no matter what it is. Like if it's something that you're going to use, like shampoo or soap or even food, something like that, you could just continue, or like paper, right? Like notepads that you're going to eventually run out of. Everything's set up. Subscription. Give it to me every 90 days, every 30 days.
I've never seen a car wash down here. I've asked a couple of people, and they're like, well, that guy over there at the shop that works on cars has got a bay that he pressure washes in, and he pressure washes cars and motorcycles. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not a car wash per se, and they're like, when it's muddy like this, they don't wash them off because the next
it's going to get muddy again.
Yeah. So it's like, because all the streets are dirt, know, so they don't even waste their time till they know it's going to be sunny for a day or so, and they want to look They do keep the insides of their cars clean here, though. Golly, man. I mean, I think they pick every little piece of grass off the carpet after each person gets out. Because I have never gotten in a cab or a gypsy cab or any type of public transportation that wasn't immaculate. I mean, all of them are just as clean as they can be on the inside. Now, the outside might look like a big, a wash nest,
maybe
dirt daughter nest or something. Yeah, but the inside's always clean, man. Always.
Well, that's very fair. I don't know if that's pride or if that's people are very considerate before they get in or what. I don't know.
I think it's a little of both, but now a lot of the guys are doing away with the shield.
Yeah.
During Brovid, they had the plastic. Some of them had a piece of plexiglass across there that they had drilled a hole in and like zip tied to the oh shit handles up there or whatever. And then some of them just had a plastic that rolled down or something like that. But now they've done away with all that, and the taxi cab drivers, very few are wearing masks and stuff like that. But you still see them walking down the beach, man, wearing a mask, and it's like, okay. So, Pat was talking about she's up there, so every time she got ready to go somewhere, she's like, "Oh crap, man, I need to grab a mask." No, I don't.
Oh no,
because nobody else wearing them. And she's like, down here, that's the first thing we think about when you got a mask. If you're going somewhere, you got your vaccine card and a mask. Sure. Did you see where the Pfizer CEO said you might have to get a fourth shot because the 3 they gave you aren't working?
No. Well, actually, not from the CEO themselves, but I've definitely heard where, I mean, to me, it would just become kind of like the flu shot, right? Like, give you this, okay, give you this, okay, give you this, and then it just kind of goes over and over and over and over. I bet they
stopped giving it to you. There's got to be something in there somewhere where there's a price break or a price something. They're not just going to give that stuff away. So
I would say at some point in time, yeah. But now understand this: they can give it away if the taxpayers are paying for it.
Right. That's correct.
So
that is correct.
Because if we're fitting the bill, and then people are getting vaccines, well, I mean, cool. Give them away forever as long as they're still making the budget go towards that. Right now, once that stops or that ever runs out, then yeah, sure, they might say, well, yeah, no, it's all good. You guys can pay the $30, $40, $50, $800, whatever the hell it's going to be, price for it. And then it's like, well, do you want to be safe? And then that whole thing, like, I don't know.
Yeah, you started. They had Carnival down here, and there's 100,000 people down on the beach.
Sure.
All slobbering on each other and throwing water on each other and hugging and kissing and all that. And then the next day, you got to put a mask on to go into the mall. Mm-hmm. And you're not even close to anybody. You're walking along in the mall, and the mall's not that crowded where you're not walking within 6 feet of anybody unless you're standing in line at the checkout or whatever at the commissary. And it's just funny to me that, you didn't give a damn about it yesterday, and I know I say this every time, but here today, you want us to put a mask on, and yesterday, the Ministry of Health or the Minister of Health didn't enforce it down here. So, who knows, man?
It's a wild one for sure.
Take it off every chance I get.
Well, that's fine. You most certainly can.
That's just me.
You know what? That's exactly right. It's just you.
That's right. It's me.
So
thank you very much.
That is you. We're just about to hit our hour mark. Is there anything else you want to touch upon?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right. Well,
I'll reach out and touch you.
Yeah. Hey, well, in a month you may be able to. We shall see. I might go into hiding before you get here. I'll be like, gotta dodge and whatnot. But yeah. So we're back in the swing of things. Thank you all for sticking with us and all your support. And then we really appreciate all y'all out there. And thank you very much for watching the Life in General podcast here with Tom and Jay. We'll catch y'all in the next episode.
See you.